Well, we're gonna move over to Sense Green. Let me see if I get now. Your name is very difficult for me, but everybody
Yeah,
can see it. How do I pronounce your name?
you can say yeet, just like eat, yeet.
Yitcan?
Yeah, yeet can. Yeah, Yigitcan. It's Yigitcan.
Yitcan. Okay. Where are you from?
I'm from Turkey.
Oh, cool. And where is the business also in Turkey located?
Yeah, right now we are based in Turkey. Actually, we have offices in Abu Dhabi and Boston, but due to pandemics, we are now just in the base.
Oh, yes, great. How was the time during the pandemics? Was it tough, or did it open up also some new opportunities?
Sometimes it was hard personally, but sometimes it was really plantful for the business because the sensitivity increased to indoor air quality. That's why sometimes it was good, sometimes it was bad,
Yeah.
mixed.
How was the
Yeah.
pandemic in Turkey?
Uh,
Uh,
Sometimes it was really bad, but after the vaccination, it was okay, not that much bad.
yeah, we are getting. I think we are. I'm from the Netherlands in Amsterdam, so we're getting some new measurements again this tonight actually, and they will go into to turn down a lot of regulations. So we are opening up again. So that's what I'm really looking forward to after being closed up for 2 years nearly. Yeah, hopefully we can also create some of these events physically again and see each other at some events as well. I would like to give you your 30 minutes. So do you have a presentation with you?
No, no, I will just speak.
Okay, cool. Well, just go ahead, and I will when you're ready, I will come back.
Yeah, sure, sure. See you. So I would like to briefly introduce myself firstly, and I'm Yigitcan Yesilata, and I'm the CTO of Sunscreen. Sunscreen, we are helping buildings to make them healthier with our wireless sensors, cloud-based dashboards, and our analytics tools. And today I would like to give some information about how those kind of technologies can make building healthier. And also I would like to give some insights about the drivers of indoor air quality monitoring market, and also I would like to give some examples about some examples of problems that our customers are facing. So obviously after COVID, our expectations from building has been changed a lot. So we realize that the buildings are living environment, and they are not just concrete structures. They are where we live, where we work, and they are where we are socializing. In very short time, we realized that we are as healthy as our building are. So every building need to change after COVID, and every building has its own change of strategy. However, change started so fast, and every building needs to adapt itself to this change. But the question is how, and tenants want to be sure about the health of building, and property owners and facility management should come up to tenants and occupants with a strategy. We have seen a lot of failed and a lot of successful healthy building plan and strategy all over the world. And I would like to sum up the common sides of the best practices I have seen in the market to convert your building into healthier one to fight with COVID. Firstly, it definitely should be understood that converting a building into healthier one is not only about technological development. It starts from the psychology of tenants and building occupants. So while you are improving the building operations and technological tools that you are using in buildings, you also need to manage the building occupant psychology and expectations. And I would like to give some example about how building operation teams communicate with their tenants and occupants to while converting their building into healthier one. So one of the best practices I have seen, the building operation teams tell the tenants and the occupants the benefits of technological solutions to make make their building healthier, and they are clearly define how those changes impact the specific departments of companies. And also, in some of examples I have seen, they created an executive position that specially deals with the health and well-being of occupants. Also, in some examples, I saw that the building management teams used continuous surveys to understand occupant perception to how healthy a building is. So converting your building cannot be considered without communication, and communication is the key point of healthy building revolution. Actually, technology and confidence should support each other. When the thing is coming to the technological adaptation of building, everything is becoming harder because buildings are slow-paced environments, and it's not like our smartphones or not like computers. We are averagely using our smartphones for 2 years and our computers for maybe 3 or 4 years, but buildings are used for almost 40 years. And it's adopting some new technologies into building is not as easy as downloading an app to your mobile phone, obviously. And sometimes physical and mechanical structure of building doesn't allow to adopt the new technology, and in sometimes the market itself is very resistant to use new technologies because it's a very traditional market. It was very traditional market, but it started to change after the COVID, especially. And the public pressure increased the market to start to look some alternatives to make that technological adaptation. And indoor air quality monitoring gained a lot of attention during that period. And because definitely you cannot manage what you don't measure. And also, it's a fact that indoor air quality is a really complex concept, and there are different aspects should be considered regarding to indoor air quality. According to research, improving the indoor air quality is the second most important thing to do after the vaccination to prevent COVID spread. And also, it's realized that there are a lot of pollutants we are breathing in the air, and we need to fight with every of them. For example, carbon dioxide. The researchers say the carbon dioxide level shouldn't exceed 1,000 ppm, and if it goes from 1,000 ppm to 1,500 ppm, the COVID transmission risk triples. For example, humidity, you need to maintain your humidity in 40 to 60 range. Particulate matter gained a lot of importance during the COVID because it seems that if the particulate matter levels are increasing, the COVID transmission risk is also increasing. And also volatile organic compounds. There are a lot of sanitization and cleaning material used to clean the environment in buildings, but while you are cleaning the environment, you may increase the indoor air pollution at the same time, and you are trying to making some good things, but at the same time you are making some bad things. So it shouldn't be detected, and you should find the balance between them. And also, we are seeing that a lot of new regulations and guides are coming regarding to indoor air quality all over the world. In some countries, indoor air quality monitoring became mandatory in schools, and also World Health Organization changed indoor air quality standards, and standards became more aggressive to provide for most of the parameters. And then we saw that healthy building certification programs getting a lot of attention, like Reset, like Well, and of and if you want to get those kind of certifications, monitoring your indoor air quality is mandatory to get it. Also, the energy is a big problem, especially with the net zero goals of countries and increasing energy prices. We saw that the facility management teams are under a big pressure to solve improving indoor air quality and decreasing the energy consumption at the same time. In most cases, it became a very hard engineering problem to optimize building management under the expectation of healthy building and at the same time limit the energy consumption. For all the points I mentioned, actually, indoor air quality monitoring in a building is definitely very crucial. And but how can indoor air quality be monitored in a building? And we experienced that one of the most important driver of this market is easy installation and easy maintenance, because many customers, enterprise and governments cite the installation as one of the biggest cost issues in the deployment of IoT solutions at scale. Because unfortunately, in this area, we are seeing that a lot of projects stuck in pilots and cannot go beyond and cannot scale due to installation limitations. Also, we see that facility management teams are spending a lot of time for maintenance systems. Facility management teams has have 100 things to do in a day, and also they maybe need to maintain 50 different systems. And if you say you need to also maintain the indoor air quality monitoring system, they are not looking this one as a solution. They are looking this one as a new headache to them. And due to the expectations regarding to easy installation and maintenance, wireless indoor air quality monitoring system gained a lot of popularity. With the improvements on IoT wireless communication, it became easier to transmit the data from the end node to application server. Today, especially, I would like to talk about what LoRaWAN brings to buildings. LoRaWAN is another wireless communication protocol, and it's becoming a more popular day by day in buildings. And I would like to a little bit mention about the advantages of LoRaWAN, because for long years communication of devices carried on with wired systems in buildings. Then some wireless technologies try to be used in buildings, but the technologies like Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, or Zigbee were either harder to install or and complex to maintain. Recent years, LoRaWAN brought a lot of different advantages and made IoT applications more scalable, cheaper, and maintainable in buildings. I would like to mention about some advantages of LoRaWAN. The first and the best advantage of LoRaWAN is obviously the ultra low energy consumption of LoRaWAN. Due to this ultra low energy consumption nature, the technology of LoRaWAN, it gives opportunity to us to power up the sensors with just regular AA batteries. So in temperature humidity, with two AA batteries, we can reach up to 10 years battery lifetime. Air quality is more trickier than temperature and humidity. It's more power hungry, but also in air quality, we can reach up to 3 years of battery lifetime with LoRaWAN wireless communication protocol. The other biggest advantage is the range of LoRaWAN. Now let's think about your Wi-Fi modem in your home. Maybe it can be connected up to 20 meter, but after 20 meter you cannot connect your Wi-Fi modem. But in the LoRaWAN, the same system, but you can connect your LoRaWAN gateway, maybe in indoor up to 1 kilometer, in rural area up to 10 kilometer. And it's very good for building, because it has a really good building penetration and low pet loss in buildings. The another important advantage of LoRaWAN is the cost efficiency, and the radio modules of LoRaWAN is getting cheaper year by year. Another advantage, it's also open source, and you can develop your own hardware, you can develop your own network server, you can create your own network. But for example, if you're using some protocol like NB-IoT, you need to go to your phone operator in your country, and you are always dependent to another company. Another important advantage of LoRaWAN, it's bi-directional communication. Right now we are mostly seeing sensors in buildings, but in few years I'm sure that we are going to see a lot of control devices that's communicated with LoRaWAN, and it's going to be the alternative for the building management systems in few years, I think. Also, LoRaWAN created a lot of market opportunities for indoor air quality monitoring. For example, in sunscreen, we shipped our sensors 10 different countries in last year, and we never went to the site or another country. And thanks to the LoRaWAN's advantage, we are using easy installation phase, and even 10 years old kid can install our sensors and start to get data and analysis immediately. Another critical aspect regarding to indoor air quality monitoring is how building occupants can benefit from this data. The most common use case is publishing this data with tenants and occupants provide more confidence about the health of building. And I have seen some different ways of sharing this data with the occupants. And some buildings, for example, some buildings are using occupant experience apps, and real-time air quality data is shared on those apps. And some building operation teams are putting QR codes to different spots in building, and occupants are scanning those QR codes, and they are getting the air quality data. And some operation teams are sharing monthly reports to their occupants. And also the another trend we saw in the market, using the air quality data as advertisement tool, especially in hotels, shopping malls, and co-working spaces. They are sharing their air quality data at the screens, at the entrance or in the common places of buildings. Also, schools are started to use indoor air quality data as a marketing tool with the start of returning to schools. Some schools have parent apps and share the indoor air quality data of their children's classroom. As Sunscreen, we are very committed to understand how building can publish this data with their occupants, because there is no one correct way of doing it. In some cases, we are providing QR codes. In some cases, we are providing screen apps. And especially if you are doing business for building technologies, you need to be responsive to different types of wishes, because every type of building has its own requirements, has its own management style, and therefore you need to understand customer needs and provide the right solution. Another important point of monitoring indoor air quality data is how this data can benefit the building operations. And we experienced that the facility management teams always working with lack of workforce. And they, as I said before, they have 100 things to do during the day, and in that busy schedule, they cannot find time analyze. They cannot find time to analyze the tons of indoor air quality data and manage the building HVAC operations properly based on that data. And as I mentioned before, this data have a very important role under the pressure of making building healthy and energy efficient at the same time. There are a lot of mistakes while if there are a lot of mistakes while facility management teams are managing HVAC systems of these buildings. Mostly we are seeing that very static HVAC management strategies are used to manage HVAC systems. Facility teams are using the same predefined BMS scenarios to manage building. But as I said at the beginning of presentation, buildings are like living organisms. It has very dynamic creature when it reacts with the occupants, and occupant behavior affects the building operations much. However, buildings are mostly not managed based on this dynamism. BMS, I accept that BMS is very important tool. However, during the pandemic, facility management teams realized that it's not just enough to manage building properly. Despite the increasing popularity of cloud-based building management system, still the vast majority of those systems are in the building's closed network, and it's not open to web. In most cases, facility management teams are not aware of the generated data from the BMS, because to get and see the data, they have to go to maybe the system room, and they need to use the BMS computer, and they need to examine the data from the BMS dashboard on that computer. In that case, we realized that the facility management teams really like to use web and mobile dashboards, and they are using the sensors and dashboards as their eyes and nose in buildings. They are using that app to get alarms at any time, and if something goes wrong in the building, they are immediately solve the issue. And as I said before, they are working with very less workforce, and those kind of tools are so helpful for them. Another important point is understanding the pattern of big data and taking major HVAC management decisions based on that data. Thanks to the improvements in recent years, progress in hardware has been matched by significant development in advanced analytic tools, artificial intelligence, and machine learning, and that they enable the faster and more granular insights and automated decision making from the data provided by the sensors. After we understand the problem regarding to big data analytics, we developed SunScreen one-click reporting tool. Facility management teams are able to getting the analysis of millions of data just in a few seconds, and they don't need to lose themselves in many data, in many graphs, to have the correct decisions to manage HVAC systems properly. And they are getting analysis about occupant behavior, and they are getting analysis from those reports about how they managed their HVAC in last month and how healthy their building was in the last month. And for example, they are getting a lot of recommendations about how they can manage their building's HVAC system properly, that is generated from the data that comes from the indoor air quality monitoring sensors. As I told you in my speech, indoor air quality is quite complex concept to understand and manage, but there are different effects of indoor air quality like psychological, sociological, mechanical, electronic, and indoor air quality monitoring and actions based on that sensor data is very important to have that healthy building revolution. Thank you very much for everybody to listening to me. So if you have any questions, I would like to be pleased to answer it.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. What do you see happening right now, the most being implemented? Where do you get the most questions?
You mean in the indoor air quality monitoring side? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Right now we are mostly getting asks about CO2 sensors. So CO2 is obviously the main detector of indoor air quality in buildings, but especially in the last 6 months, maybe we are getting a lot of demand for our particulate matter sensor also, for monitoring particulate matter, and also volatile organic compounds. All of them are getting more importance day by day, but obviously the CO2 is has the highest importance still. But also the volatile organic compounds and the particulate matter is getting a lot of attention during the last year.
And how do you think real estate should adapt all these kind of sensors? Because you have a lot of sensors out there. How is it? How do you need to choose which kind of sensors you're going to use?
Exactly. Very, very good question. That's why we are serving the sense node, and sense node is measuring the 11 different parameters at the same sensors. So we are seeing that it's starting to be popular. Sensor bundles in one box is becoming more popular, and in also sense node we are measuring 11 different parameters in some same sensor. But also we are seeing that different types of buildings have different kind of applications, and also that's why as SunScreen, we are not just providing indoor air quality monitoring sensors. We also have a wide range of sensor portfolio from our partners. For example, at the same time, while you are measuring the indoor air quality, you need to also measure the energy consumption. And you don't want to have two different dashboards for indoor air quality and for the energy consumption. And you to get the correlated data from those sensors, and at the same platform, you want to see that. And we have a wide range of device portfolio. That's why we firstly need to understand the customer needs, and then we are providing different type of sensors to our customers.
Yeah, so you're working with an ecosystem of all different kind of sensors.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I think those kind of questions you get more and more often, because maybe a couple of years ago, people just were at a starting point and just trying out one sensor. But now I think more and more questions are about, well, a complete ecosystem of all kind of added values of different kind of sensors that can add value to smart and healthy buildings.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, it was great to have you with us. Hopefully, we'll see each other soon. And if we can ever help you, just let us know.
Yeah, sure, sure. It was very big pleasure for me, Wouter. It's very nice to meet you. You're a kind of influencer for me. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you. Well, we're just trying to help out as
Yeah,
much as we can. Yeah.
yeah. Thank you very much, Wouter.
Thank you very much. Enjoy your day, and hopefully we see each other soon.
See you. Bye bye.